Slater here with Eric Horn inside the Peak after a 5th consecutive Thunder win. They beat the Jazz tonight in overtime, 104-98. Now that the Warriors' 24-game streak has been taken down, the Thunder hold the NBA's longest win streak. This wasn't, I wouldn't say as impressive as, like the win in Memphis or, a few of the wins lately. The Thunder struggled throughout, but good sign. They're starting to win games down the stretch, which was a problem early.
Them getting a grasp of the fourth quarter is really what we wanted to see from an observer standpoint. They've struggled up until this last stretch of closing out games, and now it seems like they're starting to get a grasp of how to close out games. They did a good job tonight. I mean, they were down 13 points at half and battled back in the third quarter. Very quickly.
They tied it at like the 7:30 mark.
Yeah, Durant and Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook scored the first 20 points for the Thunder in the third quarter, and Steven Adams had an and one to put them ahead, and that was really a great sign from them being able to come back in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, but then Utah tilts the game back, and Utah goes up 7, was up pretty much most of the fourth quarter. And then it gets down the stretch. I thought one of the key plays of the game, 94-91, Durant posting up, the Jazz double team him. This is about 49 seconds left, and Durant identifies the double team, doesn't force a shot, doesn't try to get it to Westbrook. He hits Serge Ibaka in the corner. And we're talking about them wanting to trust other guys. He trusted Ibaka. Ibaka does like a little pump fake, flyby, hits the 3 to tie the game. I thought that was like a huge moment.
It was big time because we talk about this trust, and Serge Ibaka in the past 2 games has really struggled against the Jazz. I mean, shooting. He came out tonight, and he didn't really play very well in the first half. He struggled rebounding as well, but in the second half, they still went to him in those key situations, and he was big time on that 3-pointer in front of the Thunder bench to tie the game.
Big time defensively too in the overtime period.
Monster.
The Jazz only scored 2 points in overtime, and a lot of that was because of Ibaka and his interior defense. He had 2 blocks, including, I don't know where I would rank some of Serge Ibaka's most impressive blocks, but that one tonight I would say top 10. Chasing down Gordon Hayward. Check out the highlight if you get a chance, or if you haven't seen it. Chase down, blocks a dunk of a 6'8", pretty athletic dude. So I thought that was impressive. The other storyline tonight probably would have been Kevin Durant, 2 points, a career low 2 first half points. Wasn't shooting, had 4 turnovers, just looked, out of it like we've seen occasionally lately. Regroups at halftime, says he told himself to calm down, then he scores 29 after halftime, 31 in the game.
That's 2 games in a row where Kevin Durant hasn't had great first halves or even first 3 quarters, but he came through in the last stretch in the fourth quarter to close the game out. I mean, on the bucket where he went to the basket, that was a big time shot for him, and I think that was the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
and
that was by like last 20 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, he continues to come through in the times where the Thunder needs him the most. He was big in the third and fourth quarter tonight and in overtime.
And he told us something interesting post game. He's doing this thing where he's tugging his jersey now as a celebration.
Finally got to the bottom of that.
Well, it's happened the last 2 games, which were 2 games he struggled, and then found it out late. He said when he was younger, his godfather would tug on it. After maybe he was struggling when he was younger, tug on his jersey, look him right in the face. And tell him to focus, that type of stuff. And so he's doing it to himself to remind himself to focus and get back in the game, and it seems to be working.
Durant also provided maybe the quote of the year, or it's going to be up in the nominations for quote of the year on the Gordon Hayward Serge Ibaka block. We're going to let you guys check it out on the video.
All right, here's Billy and Kevin.
For us, this is I think the 4th time we've played here. It's already the middle of December if you count the preseason, so both teams are pretty familiar with each other. And I thought the difference in the first half, I thought their energy, their ability to come up with loose basketballs, offensive rebounds, we were a step behind them most of the first half. Russell created underneath that a bounce play for himself to close the half, gave us a little momentum going to the locker room. And I thought to start that third quarter, we were a different team than we were to start the game. And obviously took the lead, but Utah fought back. They regained the lead. I think we got down by 7 there in the 4th, and I just really thought our team, kept their composure, coming down the stretch. Obviously, Kevin had an unbelievable second half in overtime, but the play that really stood out to me was his trust level with Serge in a crucial situation where they kind of brought help, and he skipped it across to Serge and got him a pretty good look from 3. I think the awareness by Kevin to do that was good. I thought we executed pretty well really on both ends of the floor. And then I thought Steven and Serge's length and shot blocking in regulation, those last few minutes in overtime really helped. So it really was a hard-fought game. It wasn't a game that we really played a complete game. We did play, I thought, exceptionally well in the second half and in overtime.
You've seen plenty of Serge Ibaka blocks, obviously, but how impressive was that fast break one on Gordon Hayward?
Well, it was a huge play. I mean, one, he didn't give up on it, and I think that we had some plays there in that first half that we didn't make that kind of effort, in certain situations. And this was a point in time in the game where we made those effort plays. And really, what happened was I thought, the last 5 minutes of the game and the 5 minutes at overtime, we eliminated some of those offensive reboundings, and we eliminated a lot of their scores in around the rim, and I think Serge and Steven had a lot to do with it. And certainly that was a great momentum-changing play by Serge.
What was the difference between the first half and the third quarter?
For me, for the team.
For both?
We played a little bit more physical, man. We were just aggressive. I think early on in the game, I think we were just passing the ball around the perimeter too many times instead of attacking and then passing. So we were aggressive and started the third quarter, and we was able to get them on their heels, and we just kept fighting, and we made plays down the stretch.
For you personally, was it just a matter of keeping your patience after that first quarter?
Yeah. I was getting a little frustrated with myself, and I just had to calm down. At halftime, I just told myself to calm down. If I get the ball, try to score. As simple as that. Try to score, and then that's going to open it up for my teammates.
Kevin, was this one of those games where maybe one of the times you guys just had to gut it out for games of 4 nights?
Yeah, this was like a playoff type of game because this team, they made adjustments. They started Alec Burke tonight instead of Neto, and they made the proper adjustments. They have a really good coach, and they play hard defensively. They were getting it to us early, and they made adjustments. And we knew it was going to be tough. We knew they weren't going to come in and just play the same game that they played last game. So we just had to be ready for it. I think we didn't start off so well, but that's why it's 2 halves of basketball.
Do or die basketball in that overtime. How were you guys able to hold the scoreless almost all the way throughout it?
Man, we got stops and we boxed out. That was the thing. I was looking around and everybody had a man boxed out, and we were just grabbing rebounds. So we made them shoot tough shots. I think all night we made them shoot tough shots. They might have got some stuff to the rim early, but Burke and Hood, they were hitting tough twos on us, and we had to live with it. And Hayward was shooting tough ones, so but we didn't box out early on. I think in that overtime, fourth quarter overtime, we did a good job of boxing out.
What do you think of Russ's play right before halftime?
Hey, that was unreal. Only Russ would make something play like that.
It seems like in the third quarter, you and Russ fed off of each other's intensity. Can you feel that in the game?
Yeah. He wanted to get me going. Coming out of halftime, he told me he was going to give me some ISOs, give me some plays, and told me to be aggressive, and I just fed off his energy.
Can you take me through the play where you're posting out and through to Serge in the corner right at the game time?
Yeah. We had some in the post. They couldn't really guard one-on-one down there. I knew I had a smaller guy on me, so I just had to survey the floor first instead of just put my head down and go. And I seen him shifting all the way over, leaving Serge right open in the corner, and it's a bad move because he can shoot that. And he made a big time play. I seen him working on it every day. Pump fake, fly by a 3. And he made a huge shot, man. And we believe in him, we trust in him, and his confidence is growing every single day, man. And he didn't shoot well last game against them, and tonight he came out and stuck with it and was able to hit a huge shot.
We've seen thousands of Serge blocks over the years, but was that maybe one of the top ones that fast break?
Yeah, it was surprising because I thought Hayward had him beat, and he's pretty athletic for a white guy.
Here's Russell.
Yeah, he had him beat. Serge down.
It's more aggressive, came out, did a good job of knocking down some shots, and that's what he does.
Kevin said over there, only you would make a shot like that before halftime. Is that funny coming from Kevin?
Oh, you made a lot more crazy shots than I had, but I was just trying to get a shot up and kind of read the situations.
You've done that before, throwing it off somebody's back, but not necessarily in that situation. You've kind of done it out in the middle of a game. Where does that come from? Does that just like last-ditch thing that just jumps in your mind?
I mean, I did that before. I did it like a few times in college. A lot of teams used to do that, so I just kind of read it and see his back was to me, and I just put off his back.
Who else?
Russ, how do you think you handled them switching a larger guard onto you to start this game?
I did all right. felt it could have been better, but we won, so I guess it didn't work.
Best do or die time in that overtime period. You almost hold them scoreless all the way throughout. What were some keys that you saw defensively?
Our bigs did a good job making them shoot tough shots, protecting the paint, rebounding the basketball, and it gave us an opportunity to kind of push the pace, get out on the break, and score a few buckets.
All right, thanks, Russ.